So our next presenter is Aroussiak Gabrelian, who is a speculative designer working with biological materials, natural systems, and atmospheric phenomena. Her design work aims to torque our imaginaries to help us rethink our interactions with both human and non-human agents on this planet. She is the co-founder and design director of Foreground Design Agency, assistant professor of landscape architecture and urbanism at the School of Architecture, and affiliate faculty of media arts practice at the School of Cinematic Arts, both at the University of Southern California. So take it away. Thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. Really great to be here, and what an amazing set of talks and an amazing one to follow. Let me just do my.
Can't hear you, unfortunately. Is there? Oh, you can? Oh, sorry. That's just.
You can hear me? Okay. I have to do a crazy setup here. Okay. One moment. There we go. Oh, actually, I should share my screen first. Sorry. Okay. There we are. Can everyone see okay? Perfect. Okay. Again, thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of this. It's really an amazing privilege to share this work with you all. As Julia said, I'm a speculative designer and a professional futurist, actually. I'm not sure why this is. There we go. That was awkward. I want to share with you a particular project today, which is a design prototype called Posthuman Habitats. And it's from a series titled Near Extinction Rituals, which catalyze or require for survival new rituals that force humans out of their exploitative relationship with the more than human world and obligate them to collaborate and thus co-evolve towards more inclusive and ethical models for living. So the project is essentially a wearable farm intended to provide sustenance to the wearer as well as flourish as an expanding ecosystem that attracts and integrates other animal and insect life. Here, bodily systems and plant ecologies are symbiotic. The material of landscape, its moisture, weight, and vitality becomes a second skin, one that both insulates and unifies our bodies with the living world in which we're immersed. The act of dressing oneself in living matter becomes part of the landscape experience, whereby we lose our sense of discrete self and become one with our habitational field in a kind of transcorporeality with the living world. Here you're seeing the trophic levels involved in the process of food production. So most primary are the photosynthesizers or the plants, including herbs, berries, vegetables, legumes that require sun and water as input. The second and third trophic levels of organisms are essential for the breakdown of organic matter, and these include bacteria, fungi, and nematodes. And then the high-level predators of the fourth and fifth trophic levels are largely composed of pollinators, which are essential to the regeneration of the system, and these include insects, rodents, and birds, and the idea is that you would share your body with these species and with the plant material that would be growing on it. So an important component to the project is that the recycling of waste is essential to the perpetuation of these habitats, which activate the digestive and renal systems of the body. So the plants themselves convert carbon dioxide into sugar and oxygen through photosynthesis. Urine, which is low in pathogens and 95% water, is collected and filtered using a process of forward osmosis developed by NASA, which is how their astronauts drink water in space, and used to irrigate the plants that provide the base for the system to thrive. Organic matter becomes compost as it's processed by worms and other insects. Manure of the small animals that occupy the system additionally fertilize the crops. And finally, the dead organisms provide food for pollinators and contribute to the humus layer. I guess I can return to this, but the amount of times that I've shared this work And the extent to which people have been weirded out by the fact that waste would be used as a fuel in the system, I can't tell you the amount of times this has happened. Whereas the kind of current practice of agriculture, of pumping our soils with the pesticides and the herbicides that essentially destroy all these ecosystems, how we just accept that as just completely normal and don't even blink an eye. And yet this is somehow, anyway, I'll get into this maybe in the discussion. So the system is made from moisture retention felt. This is a technology currently used in fabric-based green wall technology. You guys probably have seen it in vertical gardens throughout the world. But its potential for garmenting the body and feeding the world's human and non-human population has never been explored. So it's made out of fabric, and so I thought, why not use it to cloak the body? The assemblages are not intended to be closed ecosystems, but are open to external input and disturbance, particularly through essential pollinators that introduce new species into the garments and create unexpected hybrids. As you may know, a third of our food is pollinator dependent, and pollinators are slowly disappearing from this earth. So the project is designed to safeguard their survival. Turn this on. Here you're seeing the growing process of the kind of test plots in the studio. Food is the composite web of the technical, ethical, cultural, and affective. It is also the material embodiment of an incredibly complex but largely invisible assemblage of trophic encounters between living species. Yet humans have intellectually positioned themselves outside of the food chain despite being host to millions of microbial organisms that are both nourished by our interiors and exteriors and are essential to our survival. The project asks how we as geocentric subjects, and especially our bodies, could feed more than just our kin. The project additionally instigates new social rituals around the collective harvesting and sharing of food. One could say it's the ultimate farm to table, or really body to mouth experience. Communal meals require collective harvests and the location of ingredients on the bodies of others. The practice of the harvest becomes re-ritualized as a collective act of labor and a celebration of a closer relationship between acts of production and consumption. Yet rather than a nostalgic desire to return to natural economies of pre-industrial societies, this project speculates on food production in the new planetary landscape of depleted soils and the increasing threat of food insecurity. We collectively ingest this shared harvest, binding us together in a secular act of communion. Thanks very much.